Hi everybody, it's Aggie back with Pro Source Athletics YouTube channel. Just want to take a quick moment today and talk a little bit about something I've been seeing going on the news and national media and all this other stuff, and talk a little bit about know who you are and know where you are, okay, and what this pertains to. And specifically what I'm talking about is we see a lot of things on Major League Baseball now that the season has started, which is awesome and everybody's excited and it's great and we're thrilled, another baseball season to watch. But we're seeing a lot of things about launch angle. And so how does this pertain to know who you are and know where you are? Okay, so the first thing to talk about is your son a Major League Baseball player? If the answer is yes, well then great. Launch angle might matter a whole lot to him because he's a full-grown man, a 0.5% stellar athlete that understands his body, movements, nutrition, everything to a point, and athleticism to a point where he can understand how to increase his launch angle 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, whatever the case may be, to help him gain another maybe 5 to 10 home runs a year, maybe 20 more RBI a year, all that type of stuff. However, when we are talking about 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds, okay? If you remember, I did a video a while back on all and every. Okay, we have to be very careful about saying all and every when we're talking about teaching techniques in baseball. So if your son falls in that category of, let's say, 8 years old to 18 years old, launch angle probably is not at the top of the list of things that he should be focused on, okay? And here's why. Know who you are, okay? So let's take Brett Butler back in the old days from the Dodgers. If Brett Butler changed his launch angle and tries to hit 10 home runs and not lay down 40 bunts and hit the ball on the ground and beat it out, or line drives over the third baseman's head or over the shortstop's head or second baseman's head, it changes who he is as a player, and not in a good way, right? It changes it for the worse for Brett Butler and also for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Same holds true for many major leaguers today. There's guys who their game is speed and defense. That is the value that they bring to their major league club. So for a guy that is going to be a stolen base threat, is going to be someone who is going to hit doubles in the gap and run, or his value is runs scored and stolen bases, that guy, as long as he's getting on base, launch angle doesn't matter, okay? So if he changes his game, though, and tries to hit 5 more home runs a year, maybe, let's say he does. Let's say he hits 5 more home runs a year, and they're all solo shots, so he gets 5 more RBI a year, great. But his run production, as far as runs scored goes, or as far as being on base, his on-base percentage goes down 150 to 200 points because of it, and his runs scored drops 40 runs. That's actually a detriment to the team and a detriment to his career. So let's play this out at the youth, high school, and college level. As I've been scouting, I've been going around North Texas and Louisiana and all these other areas and around the country, and I'm seeing all these great players, and I see people talking about this launch angle and everything else, okay? And what happens is I'm seeing guys in batting practice that are popping up into the top of the cage in batting practice on a 75-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle. They're popping up into the cage. And then you see them in the game, and it's F7, F8, F9, F3, F4. Just these pop-ups to the infield. No play is being created, no advantage is being created, and these are guys who are probably only going to hit 5 home runs anywhere. So who cares if they hit 7 home runs? It doesn't change for the positive if they hit 7 home runs. Big deal. They're not going to get drafted earlier because they hit 5 home runs or 7 home runs. But they will get drafted later if their batting average drops 200 points, their strikeout percentage goes up 10 to 15%, and their on-base percentage drops 100 to 150 points. As a matter of fact, they may not even get drafted or get to the next level because they're on the bench and nobody's there to see them play or care about it because they're not using their tools the way they're meant to be designed. So, know who you are and where you're at, okay? So when I was younger growing up, I loved watching Greg Maddux and Roger Clemens as a pitcher. I tried to be Greg Maddux at times. Well, I'm not Greg Maddux. I don't have the outstanding pinpoint control that Greg Maddux has. I don't have the type of pitches that he has, but I did have a similar pitching delivery and I did have good command of my pitches. So trying to pitch like Greg Maddux was kind of a help for me. Trying to pitch like Roger Clemens was brutal because I was not a flamethrower. And every time I tried to throw harder, my fastball straightened out and the ball got launched 400 plus feet because it wasn't who I was as a player and it wasn't who I was going to be as a player. Same holds true for hitters. If you're a Deion Sanders type guy, then hit the ball on the ground, hit line drives in the gaps, try and get on base, try and steal bases, try and score runs. If you are a Chris Davis type player, okay, he's going to punch out 200 times a year, but he's going to hit 40 home runs. So it's okay, but it's not okay at 10U, 12U, 15U, 18U to do those same things because your seasons aren't long enough to have the law of averages work out, and your coach isn't patient enough to understand that, oh, he's trying to hit 10 home runs, and so I'm just going to let him strike out 2 out of 3 times at the plate. Nope, you're going to be on the bench, okay? So let's remember who we are, where we're at, and let's make sure that we understand how to teach that as instructors and not be foolish and teach things that really shouldn't be taught. Let's keep teaching the fundamentals. Let's go through the process the right way. And once a player gets to a certain level and understands some things about their body and stuff, maybe they will be able to change some things about their launch angle, okay? Instead of creating a false narrative out there about what's positive and what's not, okay? So enjoy the game of baseball. Enjoy the ride. As always, thank you for your comments, feedback, questions. Keep them coming, and subscribe to Value.